Hey everybody, Nate Joma here, Space Coast Real Estate Spotlight. Today we are joined by Rod Queen with Portfolio Homes Construction. We are going to have a great show. Stick around, be right back. All right. Rod, welcome. I am excited that we have an opportunity to talk. I've been trying to get you guys on here for a long time because I'm just as excited as you guys are about Portfolio Homes Construction. I've seen some of the construction projects that you guys have done, the new homes, and it's exciting. It's not like something I've seen before. So tell us a little bit about Portfolio, what you guys do, what your mission is, and we can go from there.
Yeah, the Portfolio Homes Construction, we are, our goal is to build custom homes and basically empower the homeowner to make make every detail that they want to make, all the decisions, give them that real power of that process. Right now, you get a lot of quasi custom home builders where you're really just selecting from a couple of things that they're giving you, and again, if a customer needs some help in design, that's certainly what we're here for, show them what's trending, show them what we think is looking cool, and some of the different ways that we like to finish a home off, different soundproofing here and there and different kind of finishes and touches.
Nice. So I have seen, I think it might be the most recent. I know you've built several homes, but the most recent one I saw, there was a lot of customization there because the homeowner wanted things a certain way, certain colors, certain heights to things. So you can really customize these homes to literally your exact qualification, specification, desires.
And that's our goal, right? Is to be able to offer that, to bring that part to the market, and also to do it at a price point that's not as big as some of the more well-known names. We've got certain connections and stuff like that, and some different ways that we like to construct that help, save the customers some money in the end. But ultimately, they're getting the product exactly as that they want. It's a luxury item. Anytime you get something done custom, it's going to be that way. But having a contractor that's going to listen to you and work with you, and then really value the input that the clients bring into the table is what I like to think that we pride ourselves on.
Yeah, for sure. So other than just custom home building, which we can talk more about, what are some of the projects that you guys, I guess, look for, go after, have a heart for?
Well, yeah, certainly right now with, kind of the rates, it doesn't make sense for some people to build a custom home right now. So we still have a couple of those in the pipeline, another one coming out of the ground right now in Palm Bay. But seeing a lot of people wanting to focus on improving their home, right? People still have, at least some means to be paying for some stuff that I know. And then, so you're seeing additions. We've just completed a nice, beautiful, big porch addition, I think 32 by 17, 10-foot ceilings, nice tongue and groove. It's a beautiful space. We're working on another addition right now on a property where it was a burn down. So they're doing basically a whole regut of the property there. So that's going to be an awesome note because now it's going to be exactly as they wanted. They bought an as is home, and then realistically they're going to be able to, customize it to what they're looking for.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
A lot of focus on the outdoor spaces as well, obviously with the connection with Freedom Outdoor Kitchen. So we do a lot of hardscapes outside, a lot of paver stuff. We partnered up recently with a beautiful outdoor patio structure company called Renaissance, and their stuff is super high quality. I think we've done about a dozen of their jobs so far. And so really starting to build that relationship and learn their products. So it's a really great item that works well with, I feel like the niche that we fill, whether it's the custom projects, on a full build on a home, working with customers on, putting an addition onto their property, a nice outdoor porch space or a pergola, some type of screen room like that. Even down to kitchen and bathroom remodels. We've got an in-house crew, who has been, awesome to work with. Leandro and leads those guys and really puts his touch on finishing up, the jobs properly for us. And so now we're looking to expand kind of into that bathroom and remodel stuff for people, to the properties.
That's awesome. That's really cool. I've seen some of the bathroom stuff that you guys have done, and it's definitely unique. It's not like every other cookie cutter, bathroom remodel that you're going to see. So it's exciting that you have the ability to do that. And you mentioned that you're partnered now with some folks that are doing some outdoor, hardscaping and things like that. So that's a great complement to the Freedom Outdoor Kitchens. There's really no end to the amount of things that you guys can assist in, guide toward when it comes to either building a new home, upgrading your existing home, or just sprucing up some things.
And that's exactly it. And I think that what we try to do is, be that voice, to hear what the client's saying and really understand what they're asking for. A lot of times people, it's a big decision, right, to make, to go put this out, and they have an idea of what they want, how they want to feel maybe in that space, and what they want to, imagine it to be like, but they don't necessarily know how to get there. And what we like to be able to provide is that, pathway of how to get there. We'll walk you along, kind of explain you all the details. And then from there it becomes a step-by-step process, getting, your blueprints, going through the permitting process, and this is all after design and everything's already taken place and all the dreams have been, brought to paper. So,
yeah. So if I'm somebody that wants to do a remodel or an addition, would I want to reach out to you with some ideas in mind, or would I reach out and say, I want to do this, and then you guys come in and help craft that together? Like what is the best outcome for somebody like me that wants to do some project at home?
well, it's, kind of varies, it depends on the type of person as well. We all know the engineers who come and bring you exactly what they're looking for. And then, somebody that has a dream and a vision and needs help kind of putting that down on paper and, quantifying that. So it just kind of depends. We don't mind, if anybody just wants kind of that initial stage, hey, help us get an idea of what we could do with this area versus, coming directly with us with blueprints, which we've had a number of times as well. So, we kind of run the gamut, when it comes to finding our clientele, at each of those stages that you describe. Obviously, if everybody had blueprints exactly with 100% idea of what they want, it would be much more efficient in how we can respond with proposals. But, again, we don't mind working with people. Obviously, that's what we're, I like to think we're known for, is that, you can bring us a difficult job or a difficult problem and we're going to knock it out of the park.
Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you said that, because there's people like me that have a hard time drawing a stick figure on paper. And then there's other people that can go in into, AutoCAD and draft it all out and say, this is what I want, build it.
So. There's no doubt. Yeah. We had this one client recently, that big full condo remodel. We're kind of halfway through the process of their proposal. And, but they had already had the blueprints. She already knew tip to tip exactly what she wanted. Appliance packages picked out, and just basically looking for a contractor to be able to put it all down there and get it all done for them in an efficient manner. So
nice.
So yeah. Hopefully that'll be those are the top of clients that we really do like to work with. People that are realistic with their expectations. They can kind of take what we're giving them, information wise, and digest it, and then say, okay, all right, I appreciate the way that they've given it to me, the way that they've kept, the word of what they said they're going to do. And then, hey, this is somebody I feel comfortable moving forward with.
Yeah, for sure. That makes a lot of sense. One of the things that you and I talked about recently was renovation loans. So this is where you're going to purchase a property that is habitable, but you want to do some significant upgrades what's the word I'm looking for? An upgrade or an update. I guess those are two different things. So
yeah, similar, yeah, but no doubt, definitely different. And yeah, it was super interesting to kind of learn more about that, no doubt. And that's one thing I know for me personally is going to be, that I would like to network with people out there in the industry of, hey, if you've got something that needs some updating, maybe it's off market, and those are kind of a little bit easier to work on this just because of the timeline situation. But be more than happy to go with you and your buyers, give you kind of a rough idea of, hey, we can do this for this kind of pricing. And then they can work that into the mortgage, and then that way you get, again, a little bit more of that custom feel of a, as is home, and really bringing it up to what you and your family or your clients may need.
For sure. So on the mortgage side, there's really two different variations of that. There's a Fannie Mae option. There's an FHA option, conventional. So those two things look a lot alike. There's some slight differences between the two. So if you have somebody that has a property that they want to buy and they want to do some of these things, is it something that they should get you in the loop on early on so that you can talk through what the project's going to look like, so that can be coupled into the mortgage? Or should they buy the property and then reach out to you after the fact?
Well, I think it really depends on obviously their situation that time, but at least with a lot of that lending, I know that you're going to need some of that information up. We'd like to be able to partner with anybody before they kind of get their feet, a little bit too wet sometimes. So we're certainly willing to go in kind of early with them. But again, if clients got the means and the vision already, and say, hey, I've got to have this property. I can't wait that 7 days for a proposal. Understand that, and then they're ready to roll. Perfect. And then call us afterwards. We'll be more than happy to give you what we could do, or see what their budget is having them do.
Perfect. I like that. Another thing that we've talked about a little bit lately is construction financing. So when it comes to financing a portfolio homes construction home, or really any new construction financing, there's a lot of different options that are out there. On the lending side, we have construction to perm, which is where there's two separate loan products. One of them is the construction period itself with multiple draws along the way. And then there's an end loan for the financing of the finished product. And then there's a one-time close where you actually close on the entire project up front, and then it just goes through a series of closings. So when it comes to working with portfolio homes construction, do you have a preference of the construction to perm or the one-time close?
I think that, from our end on the builder's side, it doesn't necessarily affect us as much. We're not, we're working on a draw schedule, and it's a performance draw base, So we get a little bit up front, and we start the work, and then we get a little bit more, and then we perform the work, and then, that work gets paid for, and then a little bit more to start the next kind of phase, with that system. So for us, we're kind of, again, we're flexible in that where we're, working with either one. I think from a client's perspective, in the past, that one-time close is always nice. But again, there's different pros and cons, I think, to either one. Like I said, it's obviously a great lender is going to be able to kind of guide you in that good direction as you would.
Perfect. Perfect. Okay. So what other things should I know as somebody that wants to look at either a home build or a home remodel? What are some things that I should be considering in the market today? And what's going to be the bigger bang for the buck, do you think? To add on to a home to increase the value? Or would it be to maybe cash out of my house, take that, and go build a home? Like, help me understand what the differences there would be and some of the things that I should be considering when considering one or the other.
Yeah, I think that there's a number of things obviously that would go into a decision like that. The first thing is, can you live in a construction site? So if you're looking to remodel your home and you're going to have to stay in that, and again, obviously we do our best to make sure that, the impact is minimized, from make sure work's been scheduled on a daily basis, make sure materials are there procured and ready to go. That way there's no, delay time along those. Obviously there's permitting and stuff like that. And then maintaining the safe and clean job site is always a priority. So that's obviously something to consider. If that's something you can't do, well, then obviously, probably best take your chips and run and then go from there. Again, we've found on ours from the time that we go under contract to the time we get done completing the job, most of the times these homes have appreciated double digits, in the time that they're getting completed. And same idea with adding on to a property. You're literally adding on livable square footage at whatever your going rate is in that area, realistically, if you're not oversizing a home. So let's say you're adding on a 500 square foot addition, again, somewhere around, let's say, $200 a square foot, 225 maybe for our area, depending on where you're at. It adds on $100,000 worth of value theoretically, right? Just for kind of some soft round numbers there,
Yeah.
So it's an investment in your home, no matter what, whether it's going to be a new home, obviously, because you're buying brand new and it's going to be at its top, kind of there at its entry level and it's going to appreciate over time. Or again, you're expanding the footprint of your home, or you're updating in the bathrooms and the kitchens, which is what sells homes anyways. So,
Yeah, definitely. So it sounds to me like portfolio homes construction is very customizable no matter what you're doing, whether you're building new from the ground up or if you're just adding on or upgrading the house that you have. There's really no limit to how customized you can get. It's all your own imagination and working with you guys to make the thoughts in my head become a reality.
and there's no doubt, and that's exactly like we like to describe it. We can bring out, the dreams onto paper and then on, to start there and then to build it after that. Again, it's a multi-step process. And I like to think that we're able to, bring our experience and expertise to really deliver, a product that's going to meet all those needs.
For sure. For sure. So what other things would I want to know that I haven't talked about that would be important for me when I'm considering working with Portfolio Homes Construction?
And whether it's with us or anybody else, obviously it's always important, to ask about, licensure and everything like that, making sure you're getting permitted work, that's always one way to ensure that your contractor's doing the right thing. If they're kind of leaning you towards a direction of not doing permitted work, it's really not something that, real should be looking for. I understand there's a market for that work, but those aren't the type of things that we like to do. So it's always something to look forward to and understand that that does take time. That is one of the parts of our process that, eats up time where people don't see it. You get, you got to get a lot of paperwork together. And then of course, then you're relying upon the municipality to move, as quickly as they can. And sometimes obviously they're backed up with stuff as well. So that's always something. Obviously it takes a little bit more time. When I first got into construction, they would say these delays would pop up and it's like, oh, that's just construction. And I thought that was a BS answer, coming from a different world of, more process oriented stuff. And it's like, you can forecast this. And it's like, sometimes you just cannot forecast the unforeseen. And, something always pops up. So again, when we're making our schedules, we always try to, account for some overplay in that sense. So those are kind of the things, try to be patient. Again, if you have a question about your contractor at any step of the process, I personally want to hear it. I know that it's a joke in the real estate world. Oh, my realtor actually picked up the phone. It goes in the construction world too. The guy picked up the phone. I like to think that that's what we're good at, is picking up the phone, to answer the questions, to get the answers of why something's not going maybe the way that the client thought it was, and try to bring that communication to a clear level with them. So,
Right. Yeah. Hey,
don't be
well
afraid to pick up
spoken.
the phone.
Well said. Is there anything else that you want to touch on today?
I think we kind of hit most of the high stuff. Obviously, I think coming out of the holiday season, we had a lot of people that were wanting to kind of wait till the new year, and we've certainly seen that. We've got a number of projects that we've been kind of waiting through permitting. Our first commercial job and stuff like that. The timelines became a little bit longer than we realized. Once you add in that different level of permitting process with the city, but for now, yeah, we've got a couple great things in the pipeline, and of course, and expanding with the services that we're offering, and getting some great feedback from the clients as well, on that already too. So
Yeah, for sure. So if somebody wanted to reach out to you guys to talk about new construction or remodel or any of those kind of things, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you?
portfoliohomesconstruction.com. There's going to be kind of a contact me. You can see some of the photos of some of our recent jobs. So that'll be the easiest way. Of course, on Facebook, same idea. Look us up, Portfolio Homes Construction. You can send us a message that way. You can reach out to me, Roderick at portfoliohomes.com, or those would probably be the easiest ways to start off with if anybody had any questions.
Perfect. And I'll put all of that in the show notes as well to make sure it's easy for somebody to find you guys. So last question then, and I ask everybody that comes on our show this question, and it's a difficult one. It's not an easy one. I want you to pick just one thing. That's going to be the hard part that you love about working and living on the Space Coast.
Ooh, as a lifelong resident native, it continues to improve more and more. And I don't know if that's because I'm aging, but I would really say that our access to the outdoors, the green spaces, whether it's the beaches or Indian River. I love going to Wickham Park. You do a lot of different stuff there. Going out west of 95, going out to public land just to be out there. The Florida Trail is beautiful if nobody's ever hiked it. But I would just say the outdoors, though, in general. So
nice. That seems to be a popular answer. When I ask that question, it's always outdoors. That's one of the things that's great about being on the Space Coast is we have great weather, 10, 11 months out of the year. If you add up all the bad weather days, it's usually not more than just a couple of weeks.
Oh, yeah.
Other than the rainstorms sometimes that come and go. And even then, you wait 5 minutes and it's gone. So
that's exactly right. There's no doubt.
We love living here. We love working here. I appreciate you taking the time to come on and introduce us to what's going on at Portfolio Homes Construction and everything that you guys have going on. And I definitely want to have you back on the show in a couple of months to talk about some updates on some of the projects that you're currently working on.
Certainly. I would love to. I'd love to be able to do that, Nate. So.
Awesome. All right, Rod. Well, I appreciate your time today. And anybody that's watching this, make sure you look at our show notes and reach out to Rod and the crew there at Portfolio Homes Construction for your next project.
I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
Thank you very much.
Later.